Well, we are back. It is 6 o'clock. We're going to talk about homeschooling multiples. We're going to talk about having more than one homeschooler, having more than one level, having more than one everything. We're going to talk about dealing with multiples and how you balance teaching them all. Now, I'm going to start this with telling you something really, really funny. Personally, because no one's jumped on yet, and usually I have to give you just a few minutes to jump on, so maybe I should make some announcements first. So today's been a crazy day. For those who missed the 4 o'clock coffee, my son decided that he was going to enroll in college today. He graduated over a year ago, and I have been waiting for him. I'm trying not to force them to go to college, so I've been waiting for over a year, and he decided to that we were going to. I'm looking at my hair. I'm always backwards with my hair. That he's going to enroll, and so I was filling out the FAFSA, and I got it done. I feel very accomplished. I did it. I did it all. It's done. And now he is filling out applications and making a list of what we have to get to the app. Now, most of the things we can scan in, but I think one of them did not want him to scan in a transcript. I get that. So I have to, I never get his transcript. I was not a good mother. He has grades. They're sitting in a file, but I have waited because he didn't want to go to college. I'm like, why make a transcript? People make the transcript. Don't wait till the last minute. It's much easier. But anyway, so that is what we're doing. That was what we were doing before 4 o'clock. And then a few minutes ago, Alicia came in and said with a sad face, Mama, Olivia's on the electricity again and won't play with me. So I had to get on to Olivia and ask her why is she on the electricity, because that sounds a little dangerous. So anyway, if nobody jumps on, this will end up being a really short video. I like it so much more when you drop comments into the comments. So let's start out with telling me how many kids you're going to homeschool this year. How old are they? What level are they? Because it's so much easier to personalize this subject when I know what you're dealing with. That's what this is what this week is about. So, but I'm going to start off with what I do. Now, for those of you who don't know me, you got two. What ages? About what age stage are they? Right close together. Most of my first four were all close together. They're all like 2 years apart. Ninth grade and 6th grade. Now, see, that's not too bad. You could just about combine some stuff, or at least coordinate. So with me, I have 5, and I don't really count the baby too much because she's starting kindergarten this year. But she still works into that subject. I always had, they're all together like 2 years apart, and so I always had somebody little, somebody. they're all like kind of in the same stages up until my son hit high school, and then suddenly it's like I suddenly had 2 levels, and so that takes I coordinate that. So I'm gonna go. I have my points. I always have my points. So with you have lots of littles or just several, combine everything you can. Now, if you have high school and middle school, it's not quite. You can't really combine them and use the same curriculum when you do that, because with high school you want it to be high school level curriculum. We'll talk about high school on Friday, but you want it to be high school level curriculum, but I still made sure they were covering the same subject. So it's like the year Cole had biology, the younger girls had biology too. The year he had chemistry, the little girls had some type of chemistry too. I tried to coordinate them so that when we were doing labs or anything like that, it was not overworking me. They could watch his labs and it would apply to something that they were doing, or either he could handle their labs. So I know, you know what? I don't know why I have Bible study at 6:30, and I'm really kind of hoping that I've got it wrapped up by then because I don't want to miss my Bible study. I love them. But anyway, so let's see, 8, 6, pre-K for your 4-year-old. Yeah, see, that's kind of how mine were. And then you have your toddlers. Yeah, you need to plan for everyone. And I'm telling you, plan for everyone, even the ones that are not doing school. They need to have school toys. They need to have workbooks, something to pull out, kits, all sorts of stuff like that. I always planned for everybody. So here are some of the things. Okay, so I always combine what I can, and when they get to different levels, then I coordinate what I can. So history would be the same history regardless of what age. Now, there's some curriculums out there that's written for everybody. Mystery of History has a high school level, middle school, and elementary level. You can do that with everybody. I always had my high schoolers kind of oversee the elementary and kind of help out on the projects. Electives can be done together. You just, stagger the work and you have to look for it. But Mystery of History, and there's some other histories out there that combine everybody. And, they're written for homeschoolers by homeschoolers. So they realize the challenges. Language arts and math are always done on their level. Sometimes I think language arts can kind of be combined. You could probably combine literature. But I'm very hesitant to do that because I don't want to miss holes, especially if you have phonics involved. So those are two things that I do. Let's see, I'm gonna go back to comments because that's all the banners I've got. See, I've got that there. Those are my big things. Let's see, go back to comments. So for Jessica, having those ages, one thing I did with I had lots of multiples is I like to reuse curriculum. When you look at curriculum copyrights, it says to use it for one household. Usually that's what it says. So that means when you use it with even the workbooks, I would cut the binding off. Do I have anything over here with a binder? I would cut the binding off, hole punch it, put in a binder so I could reuse it for multiple children. I did that with math. I did that with workbooks, and then I would stick them in page protectors and use, I'm trying to wonder if I have any on the shelf. I had dry erase crayons to use this year for Lacey. They have dry erase markers. They have wet erase. I like wet erase better because they don't wipe off as easy. Because when I started, another thing I did, everybody had a morning binder. This will be in the homeschooling littles too, because see, for me, they're overlapping subjects. I had lots of littles. But one of our tricks was I would make a morning binder, and when they were this little, like 8 and 6 and 4, they just had one day's worth of work. So in the morning, they would go pick it up off the counter. I mean, Mom was cooking breakfast. They could go pull it off. They could start their handwriting when they got bigger. And you kind of train them to start working. And they would do their stuff that they could do independent. It was all in their workbook. And then it had their math there. And when Mama got finished with the breakfast and putting breakfast out, they would go and do, I would help them with math. And I'm just telling you, in those first few years when you have multiple children and they're young, you're doing a lot of hopping. I mean, they were on the kitchen table. I went from kid to kid to kid, start with the oldest, start him to do his math. He's working. Then once I got through the lesson, he's doing his math. I'm moving to the next. And I go, just went around the circle. Babies always had, see, this is homeschooling littles too. Babies always plan for babies. And that's what I'm telling Jessica. Plan for everybody in the house. Even the toddlers have school toys or school games. Come back to littles. I'm telling you, that's one of my favorite ages. And I'm telling you, that's where I started homeschooling. I love littles. Love, love, love littles. Let's see. What are some other things for balancing ages? Realize sometimes you can't do it. Sometimes it's just hard. It's like when you have high schoolers and you have middle schoolers and you have elementary schoolers, sometimes things are not going to coordinate. Sometimes they just need your attention, and that's what you got to do. Let's see. I try to outsource when they get teenager ages as much as possible. It is not all, but I try not to do everything outsourced. Sometimes they just need mama. What else have y'all got? I'm watching. I've got two watching me, okay, and I think I know who they are now. But let's see, what else? Ninth grade and sixth grade, you can't combine much. You just coordinate the history and the science and the electives and kind of have them similar. Then you're like conserving your time and you're not like spreading out with two different sciences and two different not maths. They'll always be two different maths. But yeah, they're fun. It's a lot of fun. I enjoyed. It was always a challenge to try to buy things that were coordinated. It was like a challenge. One year we used what was the name of it? Exploration Education is physical science. They have a high school level, middle school level, and an elementary level. They come with kits, lots. I mean, the kit is complete. It's pricey, but my kids loved it, and I've actually considered doing that this year with my littles, but then I decided not to. I'm doing something a little bit different with my middle schooler this year. She is a little bit too much on electronics, and it's a little bit kind of grabbing her a little bit too much, if you know what I mean. And I'm pulling her school off where she's not doing school online. Well, math. I've already paid for math, so she'll do math online, but everything else will be with Mama, and she is not pleased. But I will probably do some projects. Think outside the box. That's another thing, especially with middle schoolers. Think outside the box. YouTube is big. Have them do projects for YouTube, and then maybe if you have a YouTube channel, you can, put it on there. I'm not against learning things that people need to work now. I mean, social media is big with business, so I'm not against them learning how to use things. Hadn't figured out TikTok yet. No, I don't think I got a way to figure that out. Even my husband sits there and laughs, but I don't know, it's just not me. I'm too old or something. What else have we got? I'm going to go back to my banners and get rid of it because I've moved past that. Let's see. Trying to think multiples. With multiples, streamline everything you can. One thing that we did is I would cook everything on the weekend. Do a lot of bake. Don't hit the computer, Devin. Lots of baking, lots of prepping, and then you start training them to do things because that's something else we'll talk. Littles you can't do so much, but when they get older and you have a multiple ages, I use zone cleaning for kids. I'm a firm believer that if everybody's at home, Mama should not be cleaning that house by herself, especially when you add in teaching. The kids need to learn how to, I mean, they're not it's like this. They're not leaving the house. They're not headed off somewhere. They're living there and making a mess. So everybody needs to clean. I use zone cleaning for kids. It was wonderful because it removed me from the middleman. I do a lot of streamlining with menu planning now. I use emails. It puts it into my cart. I buy it, go pick it up on Walmart pickup. So yes, I'm very big into streamlining. Normally I like streamlining online. Olivia will not have that benefit this year. But there's a little bit too much Roblox going on. I'm not against Roblox. She's learning to build a game, okay? It's the fact that it's kind of affecting her attitude, One thing I learned with Cole, he did the same thing. He's very similar in personality to Olivia, and lots of laughing, lots of trying to find ways to connect when they're in middle school, especially middle school. So that's what I'm doing. That's my goal with her. I have weird goals with my kids sometimes. It's not always the goals that I think in the beginning that's what I want. I find that my goals are things like my goal for her is to connect because it's very important. And it's so easy when they're middle school to just completely lose that connection. So that's one thing. That's our goal. So we like to have goals. I have, 1 year, like last year, Lacey's main goal last year was to play with children her size because she lives in a house full of adult sized people. What else y'all got? I know y'all are watching. So what else? What are you working on? What are you needing for multiples? What do you need to know? So I know those are some of the top things I do. is combine everything. I also, when it comes to extracurricular and socialization type stuff, I am very, very picky. If the field trip does not go, I don't go to every field trip that opens up. Now, when you're first doing it, well, I'll tell you. Okay, I have not opened up to every field trip that opens up or that's out there because it has to go along with the curriculum. But then I started realizing this year that my younger kids have not done some of the things that my older kids did. So now I'm kind of getting a little bit lax on that. We'll have if there are field trips this year, we are going to be a little bit more go-y. Is that a good word for that? A little bit more go-y. We haven't been in the past. I always picked it had to go along with what we were learning or what somebody's life goal was. And so we weren't going hardly anywhere. And then I realized the little ones had not been to Alligator Alley. And that's kind of sad, you know? So I've changed that. So see, that's one of the things about homeschooling that's beautiful is you can change and make things work for you. If you need to stay home, you can make rules. If you don't want to stay home, you can make rules. Then you're the mama and you're the teacher. But that's hard sometimes. I get, I'm a very much a rule maker. I'm looking over here to see if I see anything to show y'all. I'm like a rule follower. I don't like breaking rules. And so the curriculum sometimes can become a rule. And then I have to tell myself that it's a tool. That if it's not working and the tool is not working, then I'm using the wrong tool and it's time to try something else. And that can be hard. That can be hard for a mom. It's like you put this money and this investment and your time and emotion into this curriculum, and then it's not working. It's like you're almost afraid to do anything about it. Like you're trying to make your life fit the tool. But if it's a tool and it's not the right tool, then all you're doing is making more harm. So definitely, if something's not working, tweak it or sell it on eBay and buy something else. But what are y'all doing for homeschooling? What are y'all doing? What curriculum? I know Jessica said she's got an 8, 6, 4, and a couple of toddlers. So if you have not been here and watched the whole thing, drop a comment in there and let me know what ages you've got, what stages, and if there's something you want to know, because I can talk all night. I don't really want to talk all night. I mean, then that's kind of weird. But I do want to go a few more minutes. Let's see, what else to do? A lot of things with multiples is to remember that they're not going to stay little forever. And it's a lot of movement and it's a lot of busyness. And I always use the table because then everybody was together. I know a lot of mamas want to run out and buy desks when they first start homeschooling. My kids never used them. Now, you may be different, but my homeschool kids never used them. They still don't use them. They hold junk, and I keep about once a year, I'll look at them and say, can we sell that desk? And then they're like, where am I going to put my junk? I don't know. Maybe they have too much junk. But my girl is very obsessive with her desk and does not want to get rid of it. And my boy uses his, but it's still junky. But I wish I had not bought them because we used the kitchen table and the couch, and now this is my bedroom couch. That's my TV. I keep asking for them to move it, but they have not done that yet. So yeah, I'll show you here. There's my TV, and if you go this way, you have a big messy. This is my shelf, me and Lacey's stuff. And then the kids have a school closet. I'll try to show y'all that school closet tomorrow. I'll have to use my camera, my phone. I'll try to show you that tomorrow or later tonight. I need the sun to be nice and bright. But when we moved in, the house is still small. It's bigger than our other house that we had. We had an even smaller house, like an apartment size, maybe even smaller than an apartment. And we had 3 kids. I was pregnant with my 4th, and then we built this house. And so we had a linen closet, and I decided to turn that linen closet, that was my school closet. And it was the best decision because every kid has a shelf, except Lacey is in here now. I probably need to deep clean. This year Juliana graduates, so she won't even have a shelf after this year. So I'll move Lacey in there next year. Yeah, your dining room. See, that's how it was with me. My table was my spot. My kitchen table. I have a wonderful table that extends to 10 people. The problem is Nick decided to eBay full time, and he has taken over my dining room table, and there are different staging areas for eBay, which means that no one really eats on the dining room table now. And there's nowhere to eat in the kitchen because the kitchen is in the dining room because it's a small house. So I think I may be staging a revolt soon and saying I've got to have my dining room table, but I'm not sure about that. I thought about buying Lacey a desk. Yeah, I just told y'all not to buy a desk, and then I thought to myself, why are you doing that? It's one more thing to be inside the house, but she doesn't really have a space she can write on because Nick is using the table. So I'm gonna have to talk to him and see if I can have part of the table. You think, not knocking eBay. For any of y'all who need to know, it is our main source of income, and it does make money when you treat it like a job. He is going to do a course on eBay. He did a workshop about 2 years ago. Jennifer, was it about 2 years ago? Maybe over a year ago, year and a half. And it was great. Mamas loved it. But it was when I first started videoing. And so it was awful video. And the baby crawled behind me in her diaper. And it's like it has other people on the video. So I don't want to turn that into a course. I want to reshoot it. And we'll probably do some kind of one or 2 day eBay boot camp or something. I've just got to get him pinned down because when COVID started, everything started going. He started working 90 miles an hour. He does home repair. He does several things, and then eBay just we had some of the best weeks of people. I guess people are home shopping, but I don't. Somebody's calling me, and they know I am on the camera. So anyway, so what else? Anything else? No more questions. I like questions. When I have questions, I know what to say. Anyway, I will post some links on menu planning, chores, and things for multiple tomorrow or either today. And if you have questions, let me know and I can answer them in the thing. And at 8 o'clock, we will talk about littles. Littles are my favorite. And then that's about it. We went a pretty good time. Not enough questions. I like questions, people. They help me know what to do. But anyway, I told you my opinion on what I do with mine. And if there's other special things that you need, post in the comments. It helps. And I can give you resources. But other than that, I will see you at 8.